Go. It's a beautiful morning. So lenience on production. Let's see. Oh, I have to update the Discord. Let me just do that. Also, I probably should turn the screen on. So how do we do that? Present, share screen, big one. Here we go. There we are. And then I just update community. Lang chain, probably, right? Some admin and chat outs. Some admin. That's the topic, right? For some Saturday morning tinkering. Yeah, but maybe I should just copy this one. Here we go. And I can probably add it to a banner. Toolbox tinkering. I'll just edit this one. I save it, and I probably don't. No, it's fine. It looks kind of cool. Then we update it here. Boom. Oh, the YouTube link source was here. Copy that link. Come on. T and Twitch is always the same. I wonder if it always is the same. I go here, push back. Is there a way to just open the stream? Huh, it is that. Huh. 5 followers to go, people. 5 followers to go. Oh, just here. Boom. Alrighty, so let's go back to. Am I voice connected? Huh. I don't even know why I did that. Maybe I just disconnect. Did I do that by accident? Folks, you can tell I'm so new to this. Anyways, we were looking at some ngrok, some settings related stuff, right? Something was a little bit annoying. Okay, so how do we find this? I probably got there. Okay, so there was something with Formic, did that yesterday. Don't need that anymore. Actually, what I'll probably end up doing, closing everything to the right, except for this one. Let me just go back to the source. The console UI. Okay, let's figure this out. Console UI. Enable UI only of standard CTY. Enable the console UI. Can you config console? That doesn't seem to work. And this is something we can't. Oh, come on. Why do you have to worry about these things? Transparent. Why is this a thing? Where do we set these global options? ngrok YAML. Okay, fine. For the main beginnings on a config check. Okay, so let's just go back. Um, valid configuration file at that URL. Let's play around here, right? So actually would be what was the file name? And rock YAML. Cool. Console. Do I need to see this? Let's just turn it off. Also, to populate a new token and fix that. I mean, like you can nrock into my machines, login. Yeah, this is a rookie mistake, obviously. So what we're going to do, find a safe screen, switch to that. Okay, so I flip the screens, cool. And I generate a new token, your auth token, reset auth token. Boom, reset. I understand this cannot be done. I'm done. Will no longer work. Reset auth token. Okay, got a new one. And then go kill, and let's try to run nrock. Better. It looks a little better. And I should be able to see tunnels. Oh, this is fine. Can I see the ingresses? Okay, perfect. And that's the UX, and this is how I see the endpoint. I don't have the config open anymore, so this is how I'll do it. So this is my little setup to do Slack bot related thingies. Figured that out. That's good, which means I can actually close a bunch of these tabs. Let me pin that and then close everything else. Close tabs to the right, boom, clean. Alrighty. So the last thing, this looks like a shit bot that I was writing for Louis to be able to do some quick checks. Wait, say, async say, mention. Do we get a message in, right? So let's just go to the Slack bold app mention event. Somewhere here. Message say mentions find. What's the deal? If you respond to wait client reaction at, it's not the content of the message. Maybe this is not the right model. Okay, we do have the body. What the fuck is that, right? So let me actually increase this. It's not legible on the screen otherwise. So Ramiro.u, how you doing? if you're live and online, you can hop into the stream and pair prog with me. We could probably look at your issue. Since it's early morning for me, anyways, I'm probably not going to do a lot of crazy stuff. Some light admin junk. Oh, let me just pop you over a link. Invite, copy, and first. There we go. Boom. Oh, and this is where are you? Where are you? Here. Simplify. Cool. That is sent. All right. Okay, cool. So what we were looking at mentioned, so we get the app mention coming in. 4 people, full house. I was in a stream on Twitch, listening in actually a few days ago, early in the morning, while doing my bathroom routine, and someone had like 118 people in their stream, and they mentioned, "Oh, I'm a baby streamer," and I was like, you don't even know. I'm often chilling with 3, but I am enjoying that. Da-da-da-da. Okay, so we're gonna do some shitty testing. This is what I call it, some shitty testing. So if you can tell, I have like my this thing here. All right, so here, this is Louis bot beats, but I don't need those. So what I'm gonna go back to my bot. I had this URL already set up. That's this one. That's gonna be my base URL. Um, let's see if it's copied correctly. Damn it. You copy the link. This is why these things. This is why I hate UIs, people. Like graphical UIs. Ugh. Here we go. See, got it from text. Text lets me down. All right. So what I can do now, I have like a template for an app manifest configuration. So I can basically just set this up here. You see, filled in most of the blanks. A couple of them still empty. I have to figure out why the hell. Let me see. What did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? Yeah, well, this should have taken. Again. Okay, so that weird. This is really weird. Put this to the bottom. Just play around with it. Curious, no? Oh, actually, maybe I can fix it by just saying no web ref. Actually, this. I'll do this, and then I say like no web ref there, and let's see if the URIs pop in. Yeah, so they pop in. So this is a more reliable way to do it. So let's just go all in. Ref, same here. No, cool. So now I have that VBot for the V division. I copied that, and I'll put it inside of my what's it again? API Slack apps type of deal. Ooh, Ramiro is in the stream. Ramiro in the house, yo. I'm
Yo, what up?
doing well. How you doing?
Wait, how come I'm echoing? You hear the
Um,
echo?
I do hear the echo, but that's maybe I am probably on my microphone and my speaker. Hang on. Let me try to do the Bluetooth thing. See how that works. Okay. Let me figure that out. Bluetooth, open run by Shocks, connect. Is that working?
Oh no, I still got Twitch open. That's why I'm hearing double. All right.
Oh, that's why you're hearing. Okay.
Yeah, I was like, hell. Okay, yeah. No, we're good.
So we're good? Okay, cool. Then I
Yeah,
can unheadphone myself.
yeah. Cool.
Like, what time is it out there? Like, I have a really.
Yeah, it's like 4:24.
Dude, you wake up this early?
No, bro. I was coding, debugging till like 2 a.m. and I was tired, so I said, you know what, call it a night. So I
Mm-hmm.
go to bed, but then I'm too tired to code, too
Mm-hmm.
wired to fall asleep.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got your message like, man, I'm awake anyway, so just kind of
Ah, snap. Okay.
yeah.
Like, Uh, so what is the pesky error that's keeping you up right now?
Oh no, so I was just debugging the typing stuff. I'll
Mm-hmm.
just pull it up real quick. Yeah, so I'm still getting some errors. There are some I couldn't figure out yet, so I just left it for a bit. Man, I don't even know how to explain this. Should I just share my screen? What's handy?
I think there's like a present button at the bottom where you can
Mhm.
share your screen, and that then it'll show up in the stream thingy. You catch that?
Yeah, I got it. All right. All right.
Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah, there it is. Nice. Okay, now I can add it to the stream if you're cool with that. Okay,
Yeah,
now I
sure, no
switch over
worries.
to the big monitor. Um, pop, up. Boom. And yeah, I can watch you now.
So I'm just pulling up this. Mm, let's see. Uh,
Yeah, so you just will probably want to run whatever build command you're running that poops out all those type issues.
so these are it, and I copy
Okay.
pasted them. So these are the ones I was working on. These because they had like what, like 4 files still. Man, there was 300 plus. I came down to 450. The
Mm-hmm.
two of these I couldn't figure out, and then these four are a bit of a pain. And that are
Okay.
these. They're these ones. It's this. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. So the code is all right. So it has to do with the type call data. That's this one here.
Mm-hmm.
Here, I define them in this. I
Mm-hmm.
define it like this, and I haven't even looked up what the difference is between type and interface.
Mm-hmm.
But that this is what I defined as the call data, and then get set here, imported here, and this is where it's actually being used in the function. Let me see. So import it here, and then call multiple. Yeah, here. This is the promise that it returns, and yeah, so that's that error. That's this one, the first one.
So why
So
are you
mhm.
um so for some reason I'm a little confused by const open square bracket call data close square bracket and then you define the type for call data. What's the syntax trick here? What's the syntactic sugar that?
This is the definition, type
That's
definition.
a type def in front.
Uh,
Why are the brackets there? Or is it something else that I'm seeing?
which ones? The first ones?
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't even remember.
because that syntax, I'm not completely familiar with it, so I was thinking, oh, this is something new. Let me figure out what that means. Um, or actually, let's ask ChatGPT. Um,
I'm just checking something. No, I might have. I had put. I don't know why I honestly, I don't know why I defined it like that. I don't remember. I don't remember.
call it call data, just to keep it simple for our brains. Because for my simple brain, I'm already like, no, I'm not so sure.
Yeah,
I
I
think
think
it
it
does
was.
some destructuring stuff, but I'm not completely sure how it would work.
Well, I
Or are you only looking at the first value? Are you destructuring and then only looking at the first value and
no, no,
then
no.
basically doing a
No,
lot?
I'm using the whole.
You
The
want
whole.
everything that comes out of this
Yeah,
call
yeah.
multiple accounts thing.
Mhm.
Okay, cool. The call multiple accounts returns, it's a promise.
Yeah.
I don't, but in that case, you probably don't need undefined because it either returns or fails, which would be reflected in the call data because that comes back as a promise, at least thesis. Let's find out if how wrong we are.
So,
Uh,
so this is a function. Uh, Get set to 0. This will be returned. So initialize
mhm.
the variable, then does the calls. This is the API call function. Sets all these things to those
Yeah,
values that get returned. Then here we have the
yeah, you
values
just
that are
set up a
set.
single instance of the thing, push it into the
Yeah.
list.
One thing though, there are two cases where let's say the user is new, so
Uh-huh.
then I need a ID to put in for no, then I don't need an ID to put into the database, into the table. But if it is an existing user with an existing account, then
Mhm.
it will use the ID to get the right parameters from that. So it will use the ID to look it up.
Mhm.
That's this thing. And all right, just push it, and then ultimately it'll just returns call data all. That's it. So then
Okay.
I have here, but I think I put define because it was giving me some error. So wait, let me see. Save this. Save. Yeah. All right. Cool. So now build. See, now it got now I'm getting an error there and an error, and this went to 5 errors. So
Okay, let's read what the errors are.
oh no, this is the yeah, this is this one.
Undefined, wait. Type call data undefined must have a simple iterator method. Okay.
Oh no,
Um,
wait. No, we're looking at old. We're looking at old errors.
okay.
Yeah, because all right, 3, 4. All right, good. I remember these.
Have you used like the refactor features that you have in your editor? Because when you're making all these changes, you probably want to make them like coordinated across multiple files sometimes without having to do all of it manually.
Some, yeah, but in this and for these types, no.
Okay,
Yeah, when I define a type, for these errors, no. When I define a type, it doesn't automatically tell me where all the parameters are that uses the function,
gotcha.
etc. Yeah. So
Alrighty, so let's see what we
this
did.
this is one, and let's see here. Right, this is the other. Yeah, okay. So now it's giving me this error. Oh, Function, yeah. Function lacks ending return statement and return type does not include undefined. That's why I put it here to get rid of this error.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay, then let's do a couple undos there. Let's keep the destructuring thing out, but let's then just put the undo there, the undefined there, just to keep it happy for now.
Right.
Keep the cool. Alrighty.
Mm, oh yeah, we got okay. We got 2 9. Yeah.
Back to
Yeah.
where we started.
Mm-hmm. And
All right.
now, all
Let's
right.
go at the top, the first most error in that list. No overload matches the skull.
Oh no, but this is a different one. This is we haven't even talked about this one yet.
Mhm.
So wait, the way I do it to kind of filter out the errors, I just put them here, and then we're looking at these. Okay, now I got 9 errors. Oh, this is new. It used to be 4.
There's probably a bunch of places where, let me see what it's saying.
Right. So just looking at this file. All right. So the first one, it's talking. Ah, yeah. Okay. So that's probably why I put that constructor in, because now I get these errors. Like, it's saying.
Yeah, but that's okay because then we go to EBS request operations TS before line 35, and then we just because this is why TypeScript is nice to help you because here if call data is undefined, then we have to exit early. So what I would do, uh, like at the end of that call data thing, like 14, after line 14, after you
Mhm.
complete that call multiple accounts thing. So there are two things here. You could either return undefined and call multiple accounts, which is a little bit because you probably just want to um, you either want to have the list of things or this thing fails, right?
Mhm.
So in the undefined scenario, actually something failed, but maybe it should have been an error that was thrown. Then the failure is more explicit. That's also why we
Mhm.
initially started with let's drop the undefined because it's kind of like masking that this thing failed, but it's not failing. But fair enough. Let's pretend that right now we just make that work. On line 15, I would just check if call data is undefined. I exit early with an error.
All right. So,
Yeah.
call data. No, yeah, call data. Um,
And
and then
then
just return.
exactly, or and then do a console error or something like that, and then make a to do on line 14 that we really want to throw an error because that's what promises are really nice for is that you can basically throw an error and then kind of like handle that more gracefully in the call side. So here you could have gotten the promise back and know that either it's successfully completed or it failed, and then based on whatever happened, follow up,
Hmm.
which we're now kind of like implicitly doing through the undefined thingy here.
Mhm.
I would put the throw error up top. It's the call multiple accounts that has to be a bit more explicit about what happens, in my opinion.
So I have that. Probably, I think I already have that one. Call multiple accounts. Here's where I throw the error.
Yeah.
But
So, but the thing is, you basically catch every error that happens inside of this thing, and then you basically send something. You call some send EBS buttons, blah blah. So you send a message. Other than that, there's nothing that you return.
oh
So that's
yeah, yeah, yeah.
obvious that
Okay.
in the error case, you would basically pass on an undefined whatever, right?
Oh
Or
yeah,
it
yeah,
would complete until outside of the try catch block, and then there's no statement there. So it's by definition undefined that returns.
yeah.
Um, so that is probably the issue. The thing is, I would wonder. I mean, like, what kind of errors are you catching on 308? Do you know what kind of errors they are?
No, I don't have any errors here.
Okay,
Uh, so I haven't caught any yet. I just put them here just in case, you
just in
know.
case.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I haven't gotten any. Let me recall. Did I get any errors? Well, if I get an error, then it's usually then if these codes were broken and I was working on some things.
Hmm.
So when I'm debugging and building stuff, so that's when I would get errors.
Yeah, fair enough.
I
So
remember it
because
would throw out those, yeah.
yeah, okay, fair enough. Because I would think that you probably could drop parts of the try catch, but let's not fixate on that. The problem was we wanted to get the error count down. So we can mark this upstairs at above the try. We can ask whether we maybe want to collapse one level of this thing here and not use the try catch and basically let the promise fail.
Meaning to get rid of the try catch block?
Kind of, because what the thing you can do is when you use the promises, if you were to call multiple accounts somewhere up top, then you have the ability to use like other um, you can use like the then catch callback functions later on. So you don't
Mm-hmm.
always have to do it here because you're not really actually doing some error handling inside of the catch. Not much, right? It's not like there's some real logic that is running. So it may as
No,
well have been like, except for the send buttons thing. Um, do you in fact inside of the try block, do you also do some communications? Because
no.
you're gathering data. Okay.
Yeah, no,
Inside the
so
buttons.
okay,
What inside the
just
buttons again?
just a refresher. So this one just interacts with
Mm-hmm.
the ABS APIs, and then it sends messages back to the interface. In this case, only Telegram at the moment,
Mm-hmm.
and so it does no database stuff yet. And then here is where I do call on that, and then based on that, I do the database operation.
Okay, cool. So that I mean the try block here then basically catches any of the awaits that fail.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Cool.
So again, so we just get rid of this try catch block.
No, no, no. We go up because we want to check that the undefined problem is solved now. That we're down maybe from 9 to 8 errors. Because the issue that we had before was that it said like, oh, we're not handling the undefined case. Now we added like this if undefined thing. We want to see how many errors we have left, and then just focus on the big ones.
Okay, so wait, did I change something here? Why does it save? Oh, okay. All right.
Okay.
All right. This okay with this, right? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, you probably later on you want to figure out what the error is going to be. So make a note to yourself about the error that you want to check out
Oh,
later.
we got down to 5.
Okay, so let's then copy the error log again, put it inside of that buffer of yours, and then we recursively walk down the stack.
Yeah, that got rid of 3. All right.
Okay, rec rest, these are easy ones. What framework are you using?
I'm not using a framework. Remember?
You're not? Let's go down. Let's go down for a bit.
Wait, what do you want to see now?
I saw someone with request response. Here we go. App-get webhook.
Oh,
Implicitly.
that's for the WhatsApp file. I haven't even touched. I haven't even.
Okay, fair enough. Then let's then not lose the focus. Let's go back to the one that we were working on then.
Yeah, so
That was
that's these,
mm-hmm.
and yeah. Right. So it
So it's
starts here.
cool.
Exist on type.
All right, so we probably forgot to specify total on call data. Oh, the reason why call data that came in is apparently that's a tricky one. Can you hover over call data?
We're here, or yeah, here.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's either
fine.
call data or undefined. Okay, then
Yeah.
let's go to 40. Let's see if you hover over it, what it thinks it is. Because I think what went wrong is that we're operating on the list instead of operating on an item of the list. That wouldn't work. So either you have to iterate over the list and do something with it, or you did want that little block that you had there before, because that means that you're just taking the top item. So go back to line 15. What you had there with the square brackets you were basically just taking the top item from that list. I
Yeah.
didn't know that that was what you wanted to do. Um, maybe that's one thing though about the syntax. Maybe let's do it differently. Let's just drop this. Like we're gonna make it a little bit more clear that you're using just the top item of the list. For you, it only matters to take the first item of the list, right?
Let me check here.
Because otherwise you have to loop over it or do some map.
Yeah. No, I do need no, I don't only need the first item. Let me check. Uh
Let me see, where are other places where you look up
here's where I map the
over
account.
user accounts, but where
Yeah.
does that come from? It comes from get user accounts. So that comes from outside. You get a Telegram user ID that comes in as an argument to this function. So none of this is talking is call data related yet. The first place where we deal with call data seems to be at line 40.
No, you're right. You're right. This only takes it the first one. Yeah, I remember now. Mhm. Yeah. All right.
Okay, so okay, call multiple accounts is always on a per account basis. Fair enough. Okay, so hover over the line 15, what is marked as error, because then we can figure out what the error is. Undefined list of simple iterator messages. Okay, because okay, so what we're gonna do, since you want just the first item, just drop the square brackets again
Mm-hmm.
because we don't want to modify the whole type that you have there. And then underneath, we're just going to just uh, yeah, I'm trying to think through. You know what? Fuck it, we're gonna do something ugly. Call it X. Call it instead of call data, call it X.
All right.
Yeah,
Wait. How do I change? Okay.
just that one, and then call data is equal to undefined. Um, yeah, the make call data make that X. Yeah,
Mhm.
and then we also do another check after it, or if called no, that one we leave. Those we leave. They stay call data.
These
What we're
stay
gonna
call
do?
data. All right.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
We're also going to do here a check for so if x is equal to undefined, then we return an error. We're gonna do another ugly thing. On line 21, we're gonna do a check to see if the length of x is non-zero.
Uh, how do I say non-zero? Like
Just greater than zero, I would say. Or
okay,
yeah.
like this.
Exactly. Or actually, no, we were checking for errors. So just if it's equal to zero, then we do the same thing, console log return. We complain, like we just copy paste that nonsense there. We could actually even have merged the two above to some extent. It's fine.
Yeah.
But then here we're gonna do constant call data is equal to x, the zeroth element. And then later we can do the destructuring thing again. I think the reason the destructuring thing didn't work is because if an undefined comes in, you can't destructure an undefined, but you can destructure the call data list.
Yep. All right.
Um, that's
Like
also
this.
why, yeah, yeah, cool. So now the type of hover over X so we can verify what the type of X is. It should be a call data
Mm-hmm.
list. Cool. Now it has to be the first of it. So X square bracket 0. Okay, this is like ugliest hacks ever. Okay, that means call data on line 46 should now be an actual call data. So it should be able to find the fields. Um, and we now need to figure out why
Should
line
I just
50.
run it and see if it's fixed already, or you think it's not fixed yet?
Well, it says on the line below, it highlights that there is an issue that we still need to tackle. So we're
Yeah.
gonna,
Well, it did solve those too because we had like five, right?
yeah, I probably had 5. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's
So
copy the new list again. Cool. 57, I believe, right? Here we
Yeah.
go. A spread argument must either have a tuple type or
Okay, so that's here. That's here.
yeah, that one. Uh, Wait a minute. What can you remove the we're spreading. No, yeah, okay. So why don't we just spread call data directly into the thing? Because what we're when we say insert account, we're actually insert count DB, existing number client, object val call that, huh? Yeah, maybe we need to spread the call data directly because what are you trying to do? Are you trying to get the call data fields passed along as arguments to insert account?
Yeah. So, because this was easier for me, because then when I was working on it, when I would edit this, I wouldn't have to manually edit them here. And
Yeah.
I just use this line of code, and it would just work. But
Can you
now,
can you show me what the signature of insert account is? Just so I can see. Hover over it, like 53. User ID. Okay, so it's actually like keyword arguments type of deal. So in that case, then just dot 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 call data would do it instead of object values call data, I believe.
yeah, I already tried it. Let me see if that'll work. I don't
Let's
remember
see if
which
it
error.
fills. Yeah.
Yeah, I would get an error, but I don't remember. I think my whole code would break then. But let's see.
But as long as it's running your editor, I wouldn't trust it. So I would just go back and keep debugging it.
So yeah, now it has five errors
Mm-hmm.
instead of three. So now it has two new errors.
Which ones are the new ones?
Mm, wait, see, this is oh yeah, wait, now I copying the old.
Ah,
Um,
okay.
yeah. Right. Okay. Here still has the same
Same error.
same error. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
A tuple
now,
type every
yeah.
pass through a rest parameter spread argument must either have a tuple type or hover over call data again. Like, why is this thing?
So at this point, just go with spread all the values.
I,
I
I would ask
I think that will just solve it.
Yeah,
Um,
maybe.
but then it has to be no.
Give me a second of solving errors in TypeScript. This is one where I would ask ChatGPT. Um,
Right.
let's see.
Existing user.
So when a function is called with too many arguments here, so pass multiple, use a rest parameter to pass an arbitrary number of blah. Okay, use a type assertion. All right, let's go back to the culprit. Let's do a couple of undos. Are you gonna label them all?
This is what do you mean? So
As
this is one approach. I don't know. Is it what you suggested earlier?
Oh, no, I wasn't necessarily sure. Wait a minute. Oh, so these are okay. Then we have to be careful about the order of them, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's why I passed them that way instead of
Yeah, then it's probably better to do it that way.
no. Now we have three. Oof, still. All right. No, I don't think that solved anything.
You still have the same error because I can't spot where it is. Or is it a different one?
Oh, expected 12, but got 13. Oh,
Okay,
so
so you got the ID twice, but let's really pay attention to the order because we don't want to get this wrong.
Oh well, I just copy pasted from here, so that's
Okay.
yeah, so that's good. But which one am I? So is this one too much? Probably.
I I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. If I get these, delete these, then it should.
Can you hover over insert account? Because when you hover over insert account, you do see the signature, so you can see
Yeah, yeah.
the
No, no,
moving.
no, no ID. Pass no ID. Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
yeah. All right. Now there's one.
All right, let's figure out which one that is.
Oh my god. Oh yeah. That's all right. Undefined is not. Eh?
Okay, we probably have to.
This is in the other function. This is update multiple accounts. That's all right. So this one was process EBS accounts. So this is when it's first, and then we have update. Uh, oh wait, I don't see it. Where are we at?
106, line
Mm,
106.
yeah, this one. Yeah, here. All right. So it's probably the same, but just for this function where we use it
Oh,
here.
yeah, so you probably have to figure out how to get call data sanitized to pass it along because right now it's either undefined or this other thing. I
Yeah,
think
just
it's
use this. No.
yeah, yeah,
You solved it once already. I mean,
yeah. So I think this is where I would think about whether call data the first call data X because otherwise you have a name conflict.
this is a different function.
Yeah, but in 104 we have call data, and then on 117 we have call data again. So we have to call the first one X or something
Yeah,
else.
yeah, like this, right?
Ah, okay, yeah, exactly. Cool. Yeah, drop that one. Wait a minute. Undo again. Undo again. Because the function you used was using it. The second argument is a different one. So we have to make sure that when we remove it, we rename account to accounts.
Oh
'Cause-
no, but this is confusing. But this was in this one the parameters. I don't know why it's called account.
yeah, but
Eh,
that's what I mean. Like that means we on one our line 106, we just have to update accounts to be accounts. Otherwise, because otherwise we don't have that variable defined in this. That's why it's underlined with red. So we can
Yeah,
delete that line, but we just have to update account to account.
yeah.
But I think still at some point it would help to think about how call multiple accounts actually returns.
Hmm.
Because if you're using a wait on the call side, I'd probably just check for an error. I would do the call, check for an error. If it doesn't error out, then I would know that I always have a call data list. So I don't have to worry about it. I can just continue operation. Um, And in your
So
case, you have to do some of the error handling around it.
so maybe did I do too many error handling, too many try catch? Because this is the actual call, API call, and that one is here. Get info. So get
Mhm.
info is put. It's here. Oh, here I don't have a try catch block.
But is send
Oh no,
request a
I do, I
leading?
do. Like I do. This is the try catch block. Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
yeah. So there's
Yeah,
already a try catch block here, right?
yeah,
Or is
true.
there
But
not? Yeah.
sometimes you have to try catch hell when you're doing these things because the errors, like you're catching an error to throw the error, you may as well not have done much there, right? Um, So you don't help yourself super much with this particular case of error handling. Also, they're very generic errors. So that's another topic of conversation. So forget about that. But the thing is that you want them to emerge wherever you're actually going to handle your business logic, your error handling. Like if you're having like 5 layers of functions that all have try catches, it makes it really hard to reason about the logic, right?
Yeah.
So if you were to say like I just let them fail and they all just like blow up all the way up to the top, and then up top I kind of like handle much of the critical cases, then at least it would have been a bit more explicit and the signatures would probably be a bit simpler.
So don't do them here at the base, but just more on the top upper side.
I feel like if you're doing error handling low level, if you're actually providing some logic to deal with whatever happens when things go wrong, then fair, by all means, do it. If you're just catching the error to throw it again, then you haven't really helped yourself much.
Mm.
Then you may as well have just kept it as is, right? That's at least my personal idea about it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't listen to me though. So, but like I'm an idiot 90% of the time. So
those,
like,
those disclaimers. But what
mhm.
do I know?
Okay,
Okay.
but anyways, let's get back to the price. So we can fiddle about design later.
Yeah.
So
Well,
now we have
this
update
probably
multiple,
fixed it, right?
not completely because you can see the red lines. There is a red line on 118. So we have to figure out why this is wrong. And typically, so that's a nice thing. You usually see the errors there as well. Argument of type call data is not assignable to parameter of this. Why is it? Okay, so this thing is expecting a list. You can tell that from the signature. Call data is not a list anymore because right now we've picked the zeroth element. Fundamentally, we probably should be asking ourselves if there was some funky shit we were doing before, right? When we destructured it. Because right now we're seeing that we're we're picking the first item or the zeroth item, and we're always trying to send back a list of multiples.
Mm.
Maybe we broke the app now because it doesn't iterate over the list. That's something you could implement later. So right now we can just say we make a list from call data. So make a list out of that thing on line 118. Make a
Mm.
list by putting the
Like
square
this.
brackets around it. Yeah, the
Oh,
one
wait, keep.
opening before.
Then should I keep this one? Let me think. X. Because
Oh,
this
actually,
one's.
yeah, you can remove that actually.
Yeah,
Because
right?
we're not operating on the zeroth element. So you can drop, yeah,
But
the call. Now, actually, like drop the if length check as well. We don't need the length check here because apparently we can deal with multiples. And then hover over call data. Let's make sure that the signature, the first one. Yeah. Okay, that's a call data. Then we go to your broken one. All right, so now type call data is not assignable to total number after blah blah blah. Property ID are incompatible. Type number or undefined is not assignable to type number. So one of them, so update multiple accounts. One of them probably
so
has
this
a
this is
number.
this is this is the it's here it's set as number ID,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
and
And
here it's saying like number or undefined, right? Is that
yeah,
right?
but that means that maybe update multiple accounts. Let's look at the signature of update multiple accounts. Um, yeah, say it doesn't use your type. Maybe you can use the type there then. You
Mm,
explicitly defined ID to be a number, but it doesn't know how to deal with the undefined cases. What do you want to do in that case? Do you just not want to process it, or do you want to process it in anyways?
no, it needs the ID to know which one it should process.
Okay. So what you can do in that case is then,
If we remove this one, but I think this will break
uh,
it. Yeah, no,
because there
this
are
one
other
was.
places where you deal with IDs being optional. What I would do actually, rather than having call data like that, I would have two types of call data. The one without the ID, that is maybe the payload that I submit into the system. And then from that point on, an ID gets added to it, and every other call data will have an ID. And then I'll just use call data as an ID, as my primary type to work with. Say call it call data input, for example. And then there, the ID is unknown, obviously.
So no ID, right?
Yeah,
And then this one
and
has a fixed ID.
exactly,
Or yeah, okay.
right. And then we now have to go figure out the places where we don't need the ID and where we do need the ID, but TypeScript is going to complain. So if you were to run something now, TypeScript is going to like throw up everywhere where we decided that we're going to allow ID to be undefined still.
It's
And that's
only here. I'm only using call data. Let's see. Using call data here
um,
and here at the here, and that is only for the update multiple accounts.
okay.
Only
Let's
here.
see the update multiple counts again.
Yeah, it's only here.
Okay, give
Promise.
me
Yeah.
yeah. Like let me see how the so the ID that you have there, is that the ID that you're going to enter into call data? How does that work? I'm not completely clear.
No, this ID, this call data is the return. This is a promise that gets returned. But
Okay.
sometimes it returns ID, sometimes it does not.
Oh shit. Yeah. Why? Do you know why?
Yeah, I made it this way so that I only have one function for
Uh-huh.
updating accounts and inserting new accounts. So
Okay.
when I update an account, I need that ID.
Yeah. If you
Yeah,
insert
but
account, you don't.
yeah,
I would separate. So do you do that all through the same endpoint?
yeah.
I would separate them out. I would separate them out. They like when you do like a lot of these web app frameworks, they separate these controllers in like create, rate, update, delete ops. I would just do the same thing because it makes it a little simpler on you. Because now you have to deal with this kind of like weird logic that, oh, there's one case where you actually write something, there's another case where you update. The update query looks often enough different enough anyways. So it doesn't have to be in the same place.
Mm. So let's see. So one, what it does, it just what one gets the account numbers from the
Uh-huh.
utility company and then puts that into as parameters to the API call, right? And then and then it just returns that, and then I when that gets put into the database, the IDs, etc., are automatically generated in tables. But then I want to have like a button instead of the user um, putting in their account details again of the
Uh-huh.
utility company. They just press a button and it will first look for all accounts associated with that ID, and then one by one it will put those um, parameters to the API call.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So I found this. I actually put them into one, but you're saying okay, I should split them because this is the only thing that would be different. I think I remember.
You sure about that? If you're if like I mean I don't know your logic as well as you do. So like if you're saying like everything else that you're doing, I don't know what like let's scroll a little down and let's get a sense of what is
Yeah, the
really
only difference is the output that it generates. It just gives a different message.
okay.
That's the only thing it does at the moment.
It doesn't do any database related stuff.
Not here. Here
Where
it does. So here it just gives the feedback to the user right away via chat, and then
uh-huh.
here we have two different ones: the check user account and the process ABS account. And this one actually only takes one runs one account. So that's why I only take like the first value of that list.
So I would have just called it then process. You say it just takes like one because I see first name, Telegram username. So I would have just called it process EBS account, or is
Yeah.
it still multiple?
No, it's one.
All right. So they say the joke is that one of the hardest things in computer science is naming things. I think ChatGPT has been invented to help us with naming problems.
Yeah.
So yeah, but don't rename anything yet. Like let's just keep going on with the errors that we have. So in your case now, we have to deal with that undefined case. Let's not go change your code, but just keep it as a mental note to self that there might be something there that could be. Um,
Yeah, you're definitely right because I'm confused again. I'm confused myself. Like, all right, oh yeah, now we're talking about. Now I remember. Yeah, this one only processes one. That's the user input. The other
mhm,
one, what's called check user accounts or something. Um, this one takes all the accounts in the database in my database.
I see.
Yeah. All right. So again, the problem was this one. Sometimes, so okay, so only here it's the problem. So that means, let's see, I don't use it here. Here I use call data. Let's see, call data, call data. Okay, so this one should be call data, and this one should be call data input. That should do it, right?
Are you sure that it always, because the call data input is then always ID-less information. Are you sure that this is always ID-less information that you get?
Yes, yes. This
All right,
one's,
cool.
yeah,
Then we
and
can
then
do
this
that.
one is, yeah. All right, run it.
But then when you say, then you have to do the same thing here, no? Because here you're doing call multiple accounts, then you also have to say call data input. And
Nope.
then,
This one needs the ID.
all
Um,
right, so that means that you're saying that now call multiple accounts, because that was the function above for which we just said that it returns either call data input lists or undefined, right?
yeah, this one,
So then
right?
we now have to say that the call input data account or whatever that function was, call multiple accounts. Let's go back to the function or hover over it so we see the signature. So see, that's
Oh
when
yeah, but
it
yeah, okay, but
returns
then the
call data.
promise here, oh, that was the issue, right? Because the promise now it's saying it's either this. Okay, how about we just do we just add that one to the
You could
list?
say like, yeah, you could say call data input or like a list of call data input or a list of call data. But then the problem is that you now have to check which one it is, right?
Yeah.
Which is it's a little bit of a if it was isolated a bit, then you wouldn't have to do all this type checking thing during execution. Um,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And what if we just put the promise as any? Would that help or make it even more?
you can always use any to basically fuck yourself later on, right? Like, flying blind. We'll find out later. And then you have like all of the pain of TypeScript, none of the benefits. Yeah, but like sometimes I use that to myself, by the way. So it's not like there's a place where it kind of like helps out.
Yeah.
But I guess you want to use it sparingly or
Yeah,
scarcely.
yeah. Yeah.
Anyways, what we can do, um, let's go to your implementation again. Um, so now we have let's see. Oh, this is a little bit more annoying than I anticipated. Guess what we can do? Guess what we can do? That function, that little tricky function that we were looking at that returned either call data or call data input in the promise. How
Mhm.
about we don't do that? How about we kind of look at keep the code for now. Let's look at the implementation for a second again, because I think my simple brain still doesn't fully parse. Okay, so here you go. You get the if ID is not equal to undefined and all right. So maybe um, maybe we keep the call data input as is because I mean like, the information is already effectively there. The ID field is either defined or it's not defined. So we keep call data. We drop the call data input from there. We then have to make sure that in the place where we do deal with call data input, that we pass along call data without the ID field. That it's compatible. I just don't remember how to do the structuring like that. Um, how to? So I'm asking in TypeScript. Um, how do I destructure what's it called? An object um, with exception of some fields. Um, right. So where was it that we were using this thing? Um,
Here?
so that was one of them, and there was another one. There was one where we kind of like used the input. That one was. So here we needed just the input, right?
Yeah.
But that is going to break, right? Because it doesn't know. It knows.
Yeah,
I just
it's expecting It's expecting
It's expecting
call
a call
data.
data,
Yeah, but
and
it's
it's
getting
gonna fail
input.
because it's gonna get an ID once in a while. So we should probably just call it call data there, and then we should go back to the other place, the last function that we had in your little buffer of errors that was an issue. We just go back to that one and we figure out how to destructure that call data without the painful fields.
But wait. Here, this is gonna break right now, right? Because like now we have call data. We ID is not optional. ID is expected. So sometimes it will not throw
Yeah,
up.
then make it optional again. Let's drop the call data, leave the call data input for now. We're gonna think about this maybe later.
All right.
But so now we just want to go back to that error we had. There was a certain function call that happened where there was an incompatibility problem. Here, 106, await update multiple accounts. That was
Yeah.
where
So
it's
okay.
probably
So this one should be call data again, right?
it should be
Uh,
call data, yeah, because
yeah. All
this
right.
function returns just call data.
Yeah, all right. Cool. So
Yeah.
this one should still be the same. Now this one, here's where the problem happens.
Exactly. That's where the problem happens because call data has this one field. So unfortunately, we now have to do some extra work of prepping some structure. So what we're going to do, instead of saying const call data there on line 111, what we're going to do, we're going to do colon, we're going to uh, just open, we're going to destructure this thing. This is the syntax for destructuring. I'm going to drop it inside of the Twitch. Oh, wait a minute. Can you see our internal chat in this thing?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm just going to drop it to you there. Then it's probably a little bit easier. Doesn't get too messy. There we go. Something like that. But in your case, it's probably going to look more like
Right.
const.
Const,
And
yeah.
then all the members that we need to pass along. We're just going to have to be explicit here.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, this.
Oh yeah, exactly. Something like that.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. What's the best way to do this? Oh,
Yeah, and then just put yeah, exactly. Uh that looks good. Yeah, nice. And then we drop the ID thing that goes out. Yeah. Um and then oh, the ID is still there, so we drop it.
no, this one needs the ID.
Wait a minute. Hover over call data again. The error there, I thought it said something different. 126, I'm sorry.
The problem was that the ID is either number or
Ah,
undefined.
yeah. Fuck yeah, but then it's going to do the same thing. It's going
Yeah,
to
it's just gonna give the same. The thing is still the same. We just need
so
the
yeah, so what we have to do now from a typing perspective, if ID is undefined, we have to hard code a number in there because otherwise we can't fulfill the type requirement.
all
That's
right.
the issue. So because TypeScript doesn't know that in this case we are only maybe we should fill if ID is undefined.
Okay.
Maybe that's what we should do because hover over ID. Also, we have to set the right side of the equal sign, the assignment. 123 has to be X.
Not call data. Okay.
Yeah. So then now, if we cool. So let's hover over X. Let's see what that. Oh, also we should drop that line there. The line 111. Cool. So let's hover over X. Let's see what it thinks it is.
It's still
Doesn't.
call data with the optional ID number.
Yeah, okay, perfect, good. So this is what I mean. So why is up noun found? Like, why are these fields not known? It doesn't seem to destructure it correctly. Is there a problem?
No,
Hover over up noun found.
that just means that it's not being used.
Ah, okay, cool.
Yeah.
VS
Like
Code. I'm a VS Code noob, so
hmm? The
cool.
moment I put like this and then you see?
So we're not even going to do it there. We're going to do it a little bit above, because if you hover over ID right now on 122, right? If you do that briefly, it tells us any. Oh shit, this is not helpful.
No, but
If
we
you
we,
hover
we, we, we we don't need this, right? We don't need this. We can just have this condition without destructuring it. So we can just
possibly,
have
just
wait.
check like if x dot ID is equal to undefined. But does it know that it has ID? I don't think it knows. There's something
Oof.
up here. I think we need to figure out when you're at hovering over X again. I think it was like call data, list.
Yeah, but all yeah, it's the list or undefined.
Yeah,
That's the
shit.
type you
So
said.
this is the thing, right? Because we need to then do the check. It's a list, so we can't destructure the list like this.
No,
We have to take then either the
the
zeroed
object.
item, or we have to
Yeah.
do something else. And it's not clear how update multiple accounts was doing it before. Was it iterating over everything in call data and then handling them one by one?
Mm, don't remember. Let
No,
me
it was taking a single one.
update. No, update. No, update multiple accounts is doing the what you meant. It's iterating.
Because in the signature, update
Yeah,
multiple
for
account.
yeah.
Oh, it's the array.
It's
Okay.
taking the list. Yeah. Iterate.
Ah, shoot. Yeah. Maybe. Okay. So what you have to do here then, we can't destructure. We have to effectively map over the entire list, make sure that they all have IDs, and then continue from there, which is annoying.
I'm already doing it here. Counts. Then I'm passing it here.
Yeah, but
Right.
what you're doing, you're mapping over user accounts, which is,
Yeah.
I believe, a different thing. Also, do you have like the IDs for user accounts? Can I see that? Can you hover over it? Or hover over user account? Oh, it's any. Uh,
That's the one place
can
where
you,
I make
yeah, can you show me the like get user accounts, what the outcome of that is?
this.
Okay, so it's not typed. Okay, fine. Then we go back. Um, uh, because if you go to ID, like ID, client number, unsigned number, everything on line 101 is any. I'm pretty sure if you look at it, right? Like so,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
True.
So
Yeah.
we can't tell if it's actually a number, a string, or undefined.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so that doesn't really help us.
So
Also,
this
the
is one of the
mapping.
places. This is one of the places where I could not figure it out. So I put any. This was with the data.
Yeah, yeah,
Even doing this. Yeah, there's a promise. Yeah, anyway. All right.
yeah. Okay, so on this point, like I'm a little bit confused why you're actually even mapping over user accounts, because the mapping here is effectively one-to-one. Doesn't do anything in my opinion, or maybe I'm just not understanding it.
Mm, well, what does it return? This one.
Well, yeah, you take
Returns
actually line
one.
101, because you take user accounts, you map over it, you take the structured elements, and you return for every one of those instances, you return exactly the same thing. So it would have effectively been the same as saying like you take variable X, you return variable X.
Mm-hmm. I did. You're right. It doesn't make sense here. I was, yeah. So I could just use user accounts, put it in here, and don't need accounts.
Kind of. I mean, like, since we don't have the typing benefits anyways in that map that we did, so I think
Mm-hmm.
we're pretty much looking at the same thing when we call it like that.
I think I put it like this so that because sometimes in the other implementation of it, I would then maybe only use like one or two
Okay, so you're just
structure.
repeating something that you did, like a pattern that you used
Yeah.
before.
Oh no, I know what I'm doing this. This will get user accounts. This will select user accounts, many or none. Select user accounts. This will return the whole row, right? And I don't want the whole row. I only want these three things. So that's why I'm only taking these three values of that row
Ah,
and then
okay.
storing them here.
Gotcha. Okay.
I don't want like, yeah, all the other data
Gotcha.
of that row. Yeah.
Which means that you could have uh, da, 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 da.
Change the
All right.
query.
No, no, I think I see what you're doing. I'm thinking of what would have been a bit more clear to a new reader that that's what you're doing. But
Hmm.
yeah, okay, cool. So then the next thing that we need to do, we need to figure out how to deal with the whole call data situation. You are sure that you always get an ID number, right?
Yeah, it's this
Yeah,
one. It's this
but
one.
yeah, but it's an any here, so TypeScript doesn't know. What you could do effectively is tell it to shut the hell up by, I think, by going to, like, let's see, update multiple accounts. Mm, yeah. I would probably map that. No, you have to now find a trick that makes TypeScript believe that the values track. Uh,
The problem is this.
yeah, that is a problem. Well, you can solve this. Actually, how you can solve this, you go into update multiple accounts. Um,
You mean here?
um, yeah, then make sure that this takes just. Um, can we see if it takes? Okay, it takes ID number. Let's take the. You only need these three fields.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, shit. Okay.
So I only update these three fields.
Mm-hmm.
No, so the account ID is just to know which one to update.
Yeah.
That doesn't get updated. Only these get updated.
Yeah. Cool. Um, yeah, I would probably do something differently there. Like I'm thinking that you can either map over you can either iterate over the list, and then for everything that is not an where the number or whatever the thing is, the ID is not a number or whatever the type is that you wanted, you will fail or return an error, and everything else that you pass along. So you probably have to filter over that list such that you get the ones where the ID is of a given type and then pass that along. But the
Similar
problem is
to
that,
similar to this approach, right? Or
let me
no?
see. Yeah, no, not quite actually, uh, because we now have to do it on every element. But the problem is that we have to do a transformation between one thing to another. So I feel like the only way to confidently do that would be to have like a function in between that maps from, yeah, call data to call data, from call data input to call data, or not from call data to call. No, actually, we don't have a concrete type for this. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, this is not multiple counts. Hmm. Let's just go into the update multiple accounts. We're gonna do something ugly. We're gonna make a to do about it or a note about it. Um, I don't hear you anymore. I don't know if there's something wrong with the audio or something or the video. But let's see. The I would use instead of this thing that we have here. Oh, you're out of studio. What is studio? Oh, snap, for real.
Yeah, hello, can
What
you hear me?
happened there? Was that a glitch or?
No, I don't know. My device got disconnected. That's why my camera's off. I can't turn my camera off. But then I got like kicked out of the live session and went back into like backstage. So I could hear you
I
the whole time.
I see. Okay,
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah. So
Okay,
yeah, yeah.
okay. Um, So what we can do, you know what? We're gonna make this a little bit easier on ourselves. You're gonna, because we have our typing limitations, because we did that one thing, we're gonna say ID question mark colon number. So we're gonna make this number thing optional here, but we have a loop. So we're going to check inside of the loop if the ID is set. If it's not set, then we don't execute the part of the transaction. Otherwise, we do. And then you
Uh,
console log, and that means that if for some weird reason something ends up in there where the ID is not defined, then you simply don't update that part of your state.
within this, you mean?
Yeah,
So here, put
exactly.
the
That becomes a
yeah.
question mark. And then inside of the loop, we're basically going to do a check to see if account.id is undefined, right? Is of like, then we basically just console error that something is up. We don't do whatever is part of the transaction.
Then yeah, just
Console
return
error.
console. Okay.
I think it's just yeah, exactly. And then dot error. I would do an error log or warning. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, and then you basically there you say like, okay, you couldn't do whatever, and then you return because you do have to return out of this thing.
Yep. All right.
Or you're in a loop, so you don't return. You actually have to continue. I believe that's what you do in TypeScript. Is it continue or is it next or I don't
I
know.
don't know.
Let's find out.
But shouldn't you just exit, suddenly return?
No, if you return, then you return out of the entire, because like the log that you return out of the function that's defined at 52, the async t whatever, but
Mm-hmm.
you want to continue running the loop. Otherwise, the first error you get, the entire loop breaks out, and then you seems like it's valid. So I guess, and then that means that line 58 only gets hit if we don't error out first.
Mm.
Yeah, you probably want to put an error message in there, like ID, invalid ID or something like that, or undefined ID. So the thing is, I know that you're not super excited about TypeScript. I'm sorry, I kind of talking to it. The thing is that all these errors that you're finding are things that potentially could have gone wrong in runtime, which probably it feels like it doesn't happen too often, but I've worked on too many code bases where you then find like, ah shit, I thought this would never happen, but then I refactored something and then all of a sudden something snuck in and I simply didn't catch it because you don't run like the infinite space of all the combinations of input and
Yeah.
scenarios to find out.
All right. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So, but you think this does it?
I think that this might, if we go one up, it might resolve that problem that we had that we couldn't pass it along because now it will take an undefined ID and then we
Yeah.
can do the error. We can do the handling of the undefined ID wherever we have a bit more flexibility.
Yeah.
I
All
think it would
right.
have been easier if the types told us a little better what what kind of information we really have, and if the functions were written along the lines of this comes in, this comes out in like clearly defined types, and without all of that magic of like, oh, in some cases it might be undefined, in other cases might not be, because that makes it a little harder to reason about or to
Mm.
refactor nicely. But yeah, let's see. Let's run the thing, see if those errors are because maybe we created more. You never know. It's like always like one step forward, three steps back.
Boom, 3 files.
Three file. Okay, so we're making slight progress. Let's see the ABS API interaction. That's two, so that could be a quick win.
That was one I was stuck on, so that's why I left that one. That was a hella. Oh man, that's it. Like
Okay,
12. That
because you
was
also have to get some Z's at some point.
yeah. I will. Yeah. All right. So wait, it says three. Why it says? Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, cool. All right. So in API interactions, let's see where we at. It's this one.
All right.
Yeah. It's no. It's here. This one. Okay. So the problem is with the callback queries. What I did here is which line is it? 185. That. All right. It's this one. Okay. So basically, um, first it's listening for any responses. So let's say, okay, send dual call with two buttons.
Mhm.
So it's waiting for something to listen, and then I wanted to like turn off the listener so that it doesn't like infinitely wait for a response. So that's why
Mhm.
you have the remove listener things, right? Remove listener, etc. But then somewhere along the lines, this happens where the I get this error. I'm going to top call error pooling. Yeah, that's it. And that's 185. That's here.
Okay. Let me see. So let's see then. Not assignable to type parameter. Blah blah. Okay. So what the problem here is how like where does TypeScript get the idea that error, polling error, webhook error are known values? Can you look up webhook error, webhook underscore error? Where does this information come from? Ha,
Mm.
is this from
Oh,
here?
yeah, but wait. This was an attempt. I left it in here. This was an attempt to solve it, and it didn't solve it.
Let me see. Hover over bot.on. Bot comes from the Telegram bot library, I see. Because so let's hover over it, bot.on. That's on line 26. Okay, so it only has an implementation for these three types of events. Let's go to the can you show me which version of the bot you're using? Let's go to your package lock, or just your package JSON file, because there you see something about the version. Uh, okay, so let's look at the documentation for this thing, 0610.
Mm. No Telegram.
Okay, that was the second one, I believe, the NPM link. Yeah. And then we follow that on towards its official document 610. Okay, so you're on the latest. Um, do they give any example of the what was it what that you were trying to do? That was something
Um.
you were trying to do something with callback query. Okay, callback query.
Yeah. So, but wait. One thing now I'm not clear on is if this will break the code or not if I remove this, because I added this in. I remember. Uh.
If you comment it out completely, right? Then hover over bot.on.
Yeah. Still the same.
So same. This is
But
I
it
think this is
says
where it gets its information. I don't think
+10 overloads. But the thing is, This one is bot dot remove listener. Why is that the same on and listener?
What do you mean?
So how does this work? So is this on bot or is it on bot dot on?
So
Is it
bot
is
is
it
just an instance of Telegram bot, right?
yeah, but is it on
So
the method on?
there's a function inside of that module called on, or basically on that instance of the bot, effectively. So it's a method that allows you to set up some form of an event handler.
Mm-hmm. So
So
does this make sense even to use it like this where API interaction where I add put this remove listener.
you can only remove you can remove listeners on known types of events, so that would make sense. But the Telegram bot has to know the message type. So the callback query, that is something you found from the documentation from Telegram.
No,
So
this
you
was this was ChatGPT generated code. I was
okay, fair enough. There we
yeah.
go. There we have our culprit. Probably that's the issue. So what are you trying to do effectively? You're trying to. We have three options. We can have like we can set up like an event handler on error, on a polling error, and on a webhook error using that thing that you were using, the remove listener.
Yeah, again, so this what this does, this creates it sends two buttons, right? And then it will listen to responses when users press the button.
Mhm.
And I wanted to um remove the listener.
Okay, then we just have to figure out where the bot on is then. Um, because there must be a corresponding place where you set up the listener before you remove it.
Mm, that's happens, let's see. Yeah, it happens here. Here.
How does it happen? Um, outside of the, wait a minute, like I'm not fully following the flow of the function. Oh, you define the function inside. We're looking at what's the structure we're in right now?
Yeah,
Because I
I'm just
see this.
gonna minimize this
Uh-huh.
and let's see where else. Yeah, all right. So this is the whole function. Send
Ooh,
dual callback
okay.
with two buttons.
Yeah.
All right. And then it's doing some things. All right. Here it's creating the callback query handler. And
Mm-hmm.
that is then um, set as the listener.
Okay.
So that's this here.
Okay, so the whole callback query thing, I don't know if it exists. So we need to go to the Telegram bot docs, or at least the SDK that you had open, and see what they say that we have to use. If you, yeah, like bot dot on message, or but that wasn't what you needed, right? Because you do this kind of like interaction flow with the
Mm-hmm.
buttons. So we need to figure out, let's find an example with buttons. Let's do that.
Mm, the callback queries. Oh, where do we
Maybe there's a page linked, a documentation page linked somewhere that we can use. Let me also open it up on my end.
doc usage? Webhooks, error handling. No.
There is no official library for this.
You mean Telegram itself?
Uh-huh.
There is. Oh no, official? I don't know if it's official. This
Okay,
is
because it's listed on a user's account, so I was just wondering to which extent Telegram supports this.
mm. I this is the one I was using. I don't know if there was another one, but yeah, I'm not sure.
Okay, cool. Let's see. Uh,
Wait, just before we get into this, even further, I was that because of these errors, I'm just thinking of like dropping Telegram for now and just focus on WhatsApp.
Okay, cool. So the Telegram thing has not been implemented completely yet. It doesn't work yet, or you're just
No,
working,
that was completely finished.
and it was working.
Yeah, it was working. Yeah,
Okay.
but so now because they the whole community the users are on WhatsApp and not on Telegram.
Mhm.
We decided, all right, they wanted to have WhatsApp integration. So I can make a choice to either drop Telegram and put WhatsApp and implement WhatsApp, or have them both. But to have them both, I would need to like refactor more stuff.
Fair
And
enough.
for example, and that was my initial choice, but with this yeah, extra delay and stuff, then I'm considering to just drop Telegram, yeah, and if relevant, implement it later.
Okay, cool. Then we can ignore these then.
Yeah, but then how do I? Because what would happen now was that because when I added TypeScript, right? I came across all these errors. I couldn't build it on the server web service. So I don't know if it was because of TypeScript or if it was another error. So I was going through these to fix them. Um, yeah, but I
Can you
haven't
show me
gotten.
the render results, like the build results?
Oh yeah, sure.
Da-da-da.
Oh, so these are all the TypeScript errors. And yeah, so let's see settings. This is my build. Yarn run build, and then the way I start. Well, it
Did you
doesn't even
use
start.
Yarn yourself?
No, but I had to use it for this.
Why?
The
Because,
npm would not work.
oh,
What?
really?
No,
Hmm. Okay.
this had to do with uh what would it be? Npm install.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, so this would fail. I don't remember. Yeah, this is one I had.
Because you personally use NPM, no?
Yeah. But yeah, I do. But for render, I had to use Yarn and it worked. So
Okay,
that's
so
why.
you switched over to Yarn internally. If you run Yarn, the Yarn build command locally, with the type errors that are they like all like of the level error that it breaks the entire build, or are some of them, because the warnings you can ignore. So let's just,
I don't even have Yarn installed.
okay, but then that's already an issue, because then you're not developing in an environment that is remotely similar to what render is dealing with. So it's really
Yep.
hard to figure out if you're kind of like, I would run the same build command that render runs and then only solve those problems. Because TSC is going to find you a lot of things that are issues that maybe aren't necessarily breaking for.
Hmm. So yeah, okay.
I think what's probably easier for you, considering maybe tomorrow morning I'll have some time to look it over. If you were to send a repo and maybe add me as a collaborator to the render setup, I could read the errors and then make some proposals or even some commits that maybe fix it. Because it's usually a little bit faster if someone does it that's done it before. And then you can read through the commits to figure out what the hell I've tried,
All right, cool.
because otherwise it does make a lot of sense if you're spending days figuring this out.
Hmm. Yeah. All right, cool. So just zooming out a bit. One thing like this, the way I had built the bot, it was
Mhm.
so Telegram specific. Like for example, I would even have these little messages to say like, hey, it's pulling up your accounts, it's generating the payment link, right? And then
Yeah.
it would delete those messages. And now I'm looking at WhatsApp. I'm like, shit, WhatsApp doesn't have a way to delete those messages, as far
That's
as I
also
know.
what I meant with like, it's probably the pattern of that whole MVC thing is not effectively the appropriate pattern. But what I meant to say is like to kind of like separate the more presentation layer things from core logic. And this was one thing where I was like, ah, that's definitely presentation related. If I want to see this on a printout, this is not meaningful to me, right? Like because then I have to figure out, okay, what would the same level of information or here, how would I formulate a hierarchy of information for print that works? And the
Mm.
same you would have to do for Telegram, for a web page, for WhatsApp. Um, so I think on an architectural front, you could definitely like abstract some of these things away to make it a little bit easier, and then figure out what some of the core actions, interactions in your application are, and then just model those nicely.
Yeah, so based on that, what you mentioned, and making it platform agnostic, what I would have done was to have a general messaging. So that I was in the process of doing that, and that was,
Mhm.
let's see, where I this. So I would then start implementing. I haven't even put it in here yet. No,
Okay.
I haven't put it in here yet. Message. Yeah, here messaging. Oh, I think I started here, but then use the function from messaging, right?
Mhm.
Basically, yeah, and it's based on the platform, be it
Yeah.
WhatsApp or Telegram, and that's what I would do. But at this point, it's easier to just drop Telegram and switch to WhatsApp.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Just
but
get
what?
one implemented, figure out what some of the patterns are, and then and then when you read through the Telegram documentation, try to implement. You probably find better ways to generalize this. But I think right now it's probably hard to tell.
Mm, mm, yeah. So of course, like because like WhatsApp and Telegram, they have different features, right? API features.
Sure.
So one would be like custom. So you'd have to do trade-offs or add custom things for when it is Telegram platform that have
Mm-hmm.
more features. But let's see. I was gonna say something else. So this thing broke when I switched to TypeScript.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
I think if you were to share the repo, that's probably an easier one.
Yeah.
And then we can figure out if I can solve them quickly, because it is, because then I probably would just walk through it, pick out the things that are most important. I would probably Dockerize the setup then, because then I would be able to replay effectively exactly what happens on render on my local machine, debug it here, and then deliver it, and almost be like 100% certain that it will run.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're dealing with like tooling on your machine that is different to tooling on render. That's just a little bit difficult to deal with. So I would kind of like do it that way.
Yeah. All right.
Cool, cool,
All
cool.
right.
I dropped your screen because I'm not so sure what you were doing. I thought there was some auth related stuff going on at some point, and I
Oh
was
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah,
I
but I
kind of
was that's just a confirmation on mobile, so it didn't really
yeah,
matter.
it's
Yeah.
like low criticality. Cool,
Yeah.
cool. You go get some sleep though. I'm gonna go do a stroll. The weather is lovely out here, so I'm gonna have to take some advantage of that.
Nice.
Doesn't have to up. It's summer. So yeah, finally. So I'm gonna do a stroll over to Laney, who's in the studio, and then I'm gonna do another stream from there while working on some LangChain related stuff. Um,
Oh, cool, cool, cool. Yeah. Getting
yeah,
into AI, man. Oh man. So, diving into that project, that seems so much more, way more exciting to do AI stuff than these bots. I'm like, man, how about just integrating, open ChatGPT on WhatsApp and have that as a customer service thing? I'm like, okay, let's focus on this first, but yeah, man.
Yeah, and it has to work reliably. There are still plenty of cases where things don't work out very well, and you have to build all the error handling around it then, or
Okay.
whatever policy engine you want to have around it. So I think getting this one to work, making your customers happy, is probably worthwhile. And I mean, like, there's a lot of typing in the other libraries, and I think this is a good way for you to kind of like wet your feet with the whole typing thing,
Yeah.
right? And then you're gonna be super comfy when you look at like the other repos and you see all the type stuff, and you're just gonna be able to more naturally use them. So I think it's okay.
All right. All right. Cool.
Baby steps.
Yeah. All right. Oh my god. All right. Enjoy, bro.
All right, you have a good one. Have a good night's not night's rest. Have a good early morning, late
Morning.
morning's rest.
Yeah, I'm gonna get some sleep. I'll probably wake up at noon or something like that.
Okay, good. Like as long as you still get like close to your 8 hours.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Cool.
You
Appreciate
take
you.
care.
Thank you. Cheers.
See you around. Alrighty, ending broadcast. Today was a good day. Up for a walk in the sun. Ciao.